Morning babes, what a beautiful day. So I'm out today again for Combatstress. Going to do a 5 miler. I was going to have someone from one of our local youth organisations joining me today. Unfortunately he had to cry for the last minute, but I'm hoping that Jake will join up with me next week and we'll do a little talk about the youth organisation that he's involved in. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to leave that for when I can get Jake out and he'll explain everything to you, but it's all to do with the youth organisations that are about. And as you all know, I'm a big advocate of youth organisations, whether they be of a military nature or not. I've actually been asked by the Beavers to go and do a presentation on volunteering because of all the volunteer work that I do in the village here. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's a shame that Jake couldn't come out today. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Couldn't ask for better, could you? Really couldn't. Anyway, what should we talk about now? Right, now this is going to be a bit controversial, I think, with some people, but it's the state of what's going on today with the Iran war. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am not a fan of Mr. Tango, Mr. Trump, at all. I think he's a very dangerous man, and I think he's going to put a lot of people in harm's way, but that's my honest and my opinion. Yeah, but you look at everything that he says now. He came out with a thing about the fact that he'd spoken with a previous president. Well, if you go by the reports, it must have been JFK that he spoke to. It's probably by some medium or whatever. Yeah. The fact that he's not got the backing of NATO at all, and all he keeps doing is keeps slating the NATO members, the UK, Spain, everyone like that. But if you notice, NATO is coming together because things like Cyprus, we've got French naval ships going down there to protect Cyprus. And now that's where NATO works well. And the fact of us European members of NATO seem to be backing one another. I find it absolutely disgusting that HMS Dragon was going to take so long to tool up and get down there. But then that's been down to all the various drawdowns and everything that we've had over successive governments. I'm not going to blame Labour, yeah, because it's been successive governments that has brought our military force to the state that's in now. Everything was a case of cut back this, cut back that, cut back the other. Let's waste money on projects that are failing, yeah, and instead of pulling the plug when we knew there's a problem, let's spend more money to actually try and resolve the problem, knowing full well that we couldn't resolve it. Yeah, it's a disgusting situation that the UK is in at the moment. But like I say, Mr. Trump, very, very dangerous man. And then I read this morning about what Israel's up to. Now, I've always said about the Israelis, after what happened during the Second World War, they've always been a case of, right, you have a pop at us, we're going to have a pop back. And yeah, that worked for a while. You know, the Hezbollah situation in Gaza and that. It worked for a little while. But now they've been given carte blanche, thanks Mr. Trump, to do whatever they please. And that's a dangerous situation in my eyes. the fact that what they're doing, and I understand in one sense. Good morning, sir.
Hey buddy, you alright?
Not bad, you?
No.
I understand in one sense, you know, Hezbollah is a terrorist organisation and so on, always has been. But now I think it's got out of hand, yeah, because of the fact that Mr. Trump has gone in. First of all, he went in without actually saying anything to anyone else. You know, there was no consultation, as I understand it, about what he was doing. He just did it and then turned around and said, right, I want you on my side. Well, hold on, that's not the way it works, is it? You know, I always understood that you talk to one another, let each other know what's going on, and then came to an agreement. It's like with all the UN resolutions and that. Gulf War in 1991 was a prime example of that. We were held under a United Nations resolution, and we had coalition forces including Middle Eastern countries, which was good. And if all of you remember about the Gulf War, one of the things was we realised that if Israel got involved, yeah, that coalition would have broken up. And as I understand it at the moment, yeah, the coalition with the Arab forces is holding, but how long is that going to be for? That's the problem. So yeah, it's a very worrying time at this moment. You got pricing, you know, your fuel price, oil price, everything going through the roof. Yeah, and what made me laugh was the fact that Mr. Trump turned around and says, yeah, it may be going through the roof, but we're making a lot of money. So what, is it jack you lot? Yeah, I've started this to make money because I'm pretty sure he's probably got shares in every petroleum or oil business going. Yeah, so of course he's making loads of money. Because he's a very selfish man. Very, very selfish. When I saw the American servicemen that have been killed being brought back, to wear a presidential campaign hat during that repatriation, in my eyes, was disrespect. It really was. And there was a lot of people calling, including Americans, for him to show some respect to those soldiers, you know. To wear that campaign hat, in my eyes, total disrespect. This was a case of look at me. And that seems to be what it is with Mr. Trump. It's all look at me, I can do what I please. As he said to the Prime Minister, why do you need to consult with your team? Yeah, you're the Prime Minister, you can do what you want. And that seems to be his attitude. Yeah, he can do whatever he pleases. And unfortunately, with him being the President of the United States of America, he can, I suppose. But there's no forethought or anything, is there? Yeah, they're on about what you're going to do when you finally win this war. Yeah, because again, if you look at the Iraq war back in 2003, there was no plan of what to do once they'd won the war. And look at the mess that happened with that. Yeah, we sent troops over there to fight a war, oust Mr. Saddam Hussein, and I'll be honest with you, I wish we'd have done it in the first place back in 1991. We wanted to. I know that General Schwarzkopf and General de la Billiere, they wanted us to go all the way. But the UN turned around and said, no, your job is to liberate Kuwait and that's it. Now, probably if we'd have gone all the way and got rid of Mr. Hussein back in 1991, we wouldn't have had the Iraq war. We probably wouldn't have had Afghanistan either. But that's speculation. Yeah, it's all to do with hindsight, isn't it? But there you go. So, like I say, I'm off to do a little tab this morning. Down to the Resi and back, so 5 miles. Yeah, get that in. Probably going to do one again this weekend. Yeah, just to rack up a few miles. Like I said, I'm looking at doing 40 but I'm probably going to end up doing more than that, but we'll see. So if I don't see you again after this video, I'd like to say to all the subscribers that have donated to my charity walk for Combatstress, thank you immensely. Yeah, every penny helps. That's the big thing, every penny helps. So thank you very much for donating. If you're new to my channel and you've not come across me before and you're thinking, oh, hold on a minute, this sounds a bit interesting, please consider subscribing. Yeah, we're not telling you what to do. We don't do that on this channel, do we, peeps? No, we don't. Yeah, but if you do subscribe, just drop me a little comment. Just to let me know who you are and where you're from. Some of you may have noticed I put a reply to one of my subscribers on there in his own native language. Let me just get across this road. Vadim, I'm going to mention you, mate. Hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying. But Vadim is the nephew of my good friend Keith. Let's Tab 59. And he kept messaging me in his native tongue. And of course I was using the translator to figure out what it was. But I thought, do you know what, Nobby, let's see if we can actually reply to him in his own language. So I used the translator because I'm not that good. I'm not one of these people that can pick up languages that easy. And I messaged him back. So don't panic. Yeah, it's not me gone nuts. Anyway, peeps, I'm going to let you crack on. I'm going to get down to Resi. I've got to get back home as well because I've got a bloke coming around to do a gas check on the boiler. So take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as me and Keith always say, let's tab.